1 year ago I was touring Romania with my film Gypsy Caravan. Now I'm on the road again. This time I plan to show the documentary all around Hungary. And luckily I'm not alone.
Okay, so this is Ella, who's running the whole show.
Hi, I'm Sophie, I'm a student.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm just helping out here.
I'm Jasmine, and I'm excited because this is our first evening in Budapest, and we're about to go around Hungary for the next 2 months, trying to get people to talk about Romani issues.
Roma integration is a burning political issue here. In Hungary's magnificent parliament, the hardline Jobbik party now has 47 seats.
His was the 7th Roma death in Hungary in a year and the 3rd fatal shooting targeting the Roma community in the past 5 months.
The far-right Jobbik party often hold protests against Roma, insisting they are criminals.
Our aim is to use my documentary to challenge stereotypes about Roma or Gypsies.
There were university students from countries where there are large noticeable Roma populations, and they just flat out said, these people are like cockroaches, they're like rats, you have to treat them the same way, exterminate them.
So we'd launched an online fundraising campaign.
The situation for Roma or Gypsies is really bad right now.
It's been brought to my attention that there's a lot of discrimination against Romanis and Gypsies in general in Eastern Europe.
But the first blog comment was totally racist. Then others wrote back to defend Roma. John was so shocked by all the anti-Gypsyism that he helped us online and then on the road. My film that we're showing is about Romani musicians on an American concert tour, about their roots, their struggles, and the joy and power of their music.
Here we go, we're going to the European Youth Centre.
We're here learning about human rights so we can act on them anywhere and also let other people know about them and hopefully stop having discrimination that's going on around the world.
This screening for international young activists was a nice beginning. Their projector actually worked, and I was moved by a response that I'd never seen before. They spontaneously stood up with hands on heart for the Romani anthem on screen.
Roma people have a lot of music inside.
It's so close, the language, Romani language. I understand all. I'm very proud to be Gypsy and can be here.
The next day, alongside the Danube, we paid our respects at a memorial ceremony for the Romani Holocaust, or Poraimos. Here we spoke with lots of activists and media and the famous and flamboyant Romani artist Omara. Then we set off from Budapest to project the film in more than 50 locations all around Hungary.
We are going to Tomor.
In theory, all venues were ready to show our film. The reality was different. No projectors. Suddenly we had to buy one. Bang goes our emergency budget. They welcomed us to stay overnight, in sleeping bags which we quickly adapted as window covers for our cinema. After this screening we talked to villagers. Then Laszlo, the community centre organiser, was proud to show us his own YouTube videos of local Roma. Next we headed to Alsózolca. Attacks on Roma and racist tension have been reported here, so we'd arranged to meet a Romani representative. There were lots of mothers and kids in the neighbourhood, so we spoke to them instead.
Itt nagyon nagy a fajgyűlölet. A roma ellenes fajgyűlölet. Itt nagyon nagy.
6 kutya ráment a gyerekemre, rendőrséget, mentő volt a gyerekért, de még akkor az a rendőr is úgy, hogy nem lopni ment a gyerek.
Én is leadtam a papírt, hogy kapjak egy kis segít, azt is elutasították. A romákkal nincs foglalkozás, itt semmi, egyszerűen semmit nem tesznek a romákért. Rabszolga életet élünk.
We went to talk with the mayor about Roma in her town. She welcomed us, but her words suggested that Roma are inferior and incapable of redemption.
Megtanulja, hogy kell késsel, villával lenni, tehát az alapvető emberi normákat megtanulja.
Yet she seemed to like the idea of presenting our film with a discussion.
Ezt a részét megszervezzük, csak kérjük akkor az szót.
Then we encountered a problem.
The best would be to do it in the Roma district so that people can feel comfortable there themselves.
Inkább ezt javasoljuk, hogy a közösségi házban. Tehát ott a színházteremben egy olyan 300 ember el.
Before agreeing to a screening in the white part of town, we went to find the local Roma government representatives. These leadership positions are official. Some say that it's a way for the Hungarians to give Roma token positions which hold more social status than actual power. Others say that it's a gradual way for Roma to take control of their own destiny.
Hasonlóan csináltam a cigányokból élő polgárőrséget, és ezek az emberek a saját fajtájukat is elgazosták, aki nem normálisan él.
We discussed the local situation, and they spoke to a Romani friend of mine in New York. They were all happy about a minority like Obama actually becoming president. Many weeks later, after the mayor rescheduled 3 times, we had a screening and debate in the mayor's chosen venue. Nearly all the Roma across town, 2 priests, the Roma representatives.
És Horváth Hári.
It was the mayor and her guests who never showed up.
How many teachers, how many students? Roughly
300 students, 15 teachers.
This school's founders are very successful at adapting education methods used for minorities around the world. In fact, they're now building a new school, and even local non-Roma want to attend. Most students come from this community. It has typical problems like 1 water pump for 1,000 people, bad garbage collection and sky-high unemployment.
Between 1,000, I think five people have normal.
Really? 5 people have jobs?
Yeah.
Wow.
But the legal, normal jobs.
Okay, and the other people, what kind?
Seasonal work.
Yeah, okay.
They get the benefit from the government.
100 euro per month.
100 euros a month?
From one family, only 1 people.
My fault.
There was a mine, and they could work here.
Oh, I see.
30 years before, but now you can see the village is so rich.
Our next town is Châteauroux, where we begin with an evening at the local folk dance school, and the students do their own dance to thank us for the screening. Early the next morning, we're in prison. This is the first of dozens of screenings we've scheduled in penitentiaries around Hungary. National prison administrators have agreed to show it on prison cable and to arrange some DVD screenings. After the film, some prisoners were allowed to talk with us.
Ugyanígy nőttünk föl, szegényen, harcolnunk kellett az életért, minden.
But the conversation turned fast toward overrepresentation of Roma in Hungarian prisons.
Magyarokat általában kiengedik előzetesből, felfüggesztés vagy pénzbírságot kapnak, nem kerülnek annyi százalékban börtönbe, mint a cigányok.
Sajnos a romák azok, akiknek nincs olyan iskolai végzettségük, és túlnyomó része az, aki bűnöző, ez miatt.
The next stop is a crime scene. In November 2008, 2 men hid in a cornfield and threw Molotov cocktails at this tiny village. They shot a young mother and father standing in their doorway, while the children and parents watched helplessly from inside.
Az elég volt, hogy romák voltak. Magyarországon van ilyen több ilyen szervez, kényherek, akik ezeket az embereket bántják.
Our moral support was clearly welcomed by this still disturbed community, and they asked us to arrange a screening. But mostly they talked about needing employment and wanting to cut down the cornfields so killers can't hide there. Next, we drove back to Budapest for some meetings, and our friend Zsolt joined to help on the next leg of our trip.
Hát már nagyon izgultunk, már féltünk, hogy nem érnek ide.
This was our smallest screening so far, but it turned out to be very emotional and powerful.
Azt a keserűséget, amit átéltünk és átéljük, csak nem tudjuk kifejezni szavakkal.
Igazi megtiszteltetés volt, hogy egy művész ellátogatott hozzánk és elhozta ezt ide.
Az én lányom, hogy ő nem cigány, ő szégyeli. Pedig én úgy nevelem, hogy nem kell szégyelni.
That evening we stayed at the organizer's house and she told us about her role in Roma government and her family and career.
És 14 évig voltam postás.
And we ate a lot.
Jaj, nem hiszem el.
She made this.
És jaj, de édes vagy. Jaj.
Roma work in many more careers than most people realize. On the way to Pécs, we visited an internationally recognized artist.
Minden fájdalmamat beleadom, a érzéseimet beleadom a képekbe.
While we're travelling around Hungary, our film is also showing at various festivals. This Media Wave Festival links several villages around Pécs with a focus on performance, literature and cultural openness. At the festival Q&A, one audience member was so passionate about the need for pro-Roma voices in Hungary. Tamás set up some extra screenings for us later in our trip. That evening in Pécs, we went to a concert by a Gypsy Symphony Orchestra and met its manager, who also runs Radio C, a national Roma radio station. He shared his opinion about racism in Hungary towards Roma.
Ti mire utáltok a cigányokat meg a zsidókat? Most mire? Amire ti tulajdonképpen most itt hivatkoztok kulturális, azt mind a zsidók meg a cigányok teremtették meg. De miért nem maradtok meg ki?
He's widely respected, yet he acknowledged lots of his audience are happy to hear Gypsy music, but don't even want to think about real Gypsies. What's that?
Projector.
Oh, we need the projector again.
Yeah.
What a good thing we got the projector. After the screening, the discussion turned fast toward the problem of unemployment and the next generation.
A cigányok kormányzat elnöke vagyok ebben a városban, és bizony jönnek hozzám nagyon sokan problémákkal, munkahelyek, leginkább a munkahelyeknél vannak gondok. Ezek a multicégek, ezek bizony megválogatják, hogy kit vesznek föl.
Itt a magunkra címetű. Én ezt nem szeretnék továbbadni. Az én gyerekeim már biztos, hogy legalábbis remélem, hogy nem érzik magukat annak, meg ha igen, akkor kimerek állni, hogy cigány vagyok.
Egyetlen szégyellem, hogy cigány vagyok. Én az iskolában is bátran megmondom, hogy cigány vagyok. Már vannak olyanok az iskolában, akik nem szeretik a cigányokat.
Kimondottan egy alapítványos iskola, és 5 alatt többet lehet kérdezni. Eszter?
Igen, tehát ez egy nemzetiségi iskola, és itt kötelező mind a két cigányelvnek a tanulása, meg cigánykultúrát, tehát nagyon fontos. Ott is az emberek, a gyerekek folyamatosan zenélnek, minden olyan sokkal vidámabb, mint egy
We visited her highly regarded Gandhi school to show the film and talk to the teachers and students.
Az ország minden részéről jönnek ide gyerekek, tehát egy olyan értelmiségi réteget képezzünk ki, ez volt a célálmuk, akik megállják a helyüket és versenyképesek lesznek a többi társaikkal szemben. Whilst here in the university town of Pécs, we also had good screenings at a few other schools and institutions. Our next venue didn't go as smoothly. After a long bus ride, we arrived only to be told that the film was cancelled due to rain. They'd scheduled months in advance, and it's not outdoors. But they rescheduled and even threw an after party. As we went on to tour southern Hungary, we got local help. Tamás, who'd seen our film at an earlier festival, became a major supporter and organised a lot of extra screenings.
Kaptam azért én is vissza olyan választ is. Hát Tamás, én erre nem megyek el, mert én a roma kérdésben a Jobbik megoldását támogatom.
We showed our movie at the women's penitentiary in Colucsa, a town famous for paprika.
then crossed the Danube and drove to Paks, which is home to Hungary's only nuclear power plant. One of our good screenings and debates there was at Sex Art Movie Theatre.
Nagyon szeretjük a másik embert, hogy nagyon tudunk mulatni vele, és nagyon meg tudunk tenni mindent azért, hogy neki jó legyen, ne elsősorban nekünk legyen jó.
After 10 more screenings, we got closer to Budapest again and took part in the ETIC Art Festival. Mitsu, the famous Roma singer and rights activist, was performing there. And that evening we had a small show at the home of one of the local intelligentsia. And then it was back on a train to Budapest to complete arrangements for a big screening and show at the Hungarian Roma Parliament on International Roma Day.
And there's an open air cinema.
We also visited a school in the famous 8th district, where, after our movie, the kids did their own song and dance. In Edelaine, we were warmly welcomed at this school where children from different backgrounds can study from kindergarten through to professional training.
Nyugodtan szét lehet nézni, gyere nézd meg, van nekünk minden. Jaj, de ügyes vagy, Rosalinda.
Tudjátok, hogy mondtuk a filmvetítéset.
As we continued, more screenings were added, others were cancelled. For one show, someone arranged to borrow chairs from the local school. And, after long discussions with the web organisation Teleház, they arranged to show our film through internet outlets all across Hungary. At this school for the disadvantaged, Roma and non-Roma echoed what we kept hearing about racism and the reluctance to even acknowledge it.
Én avval szembesültem, hogy én mindig éreztem azt, hogy akkor most ez van, hogy cigányok és nem cigányok.
Sokan a saját szomorúságukat azt egy bűnbakcsoport keresésében találják meg.
This teacher had decided to use our film to teach and prompt debate in his classes on Romani traditions. In Szeged, one of Hungary's largest cities, we wrapped up with a wide variety of screenings. At this youth centre, the discussion was led by a socio-religious teacher. And in the nearby Mako, a town famous for its onions, we had the last projection of our documentary in front of a fantastic and proud audience. I love their hand-sewn puppets for Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. All the figures are Roma.
Truly, I had some prejudices about Roma and Gypsy people. In the media, we can't hear anything, just the bad things that they steal and they lie and they less educated. We have bad Hungarian people as well. But now I met a lot of very friendly and clever and lovely Gypsy Roma people. So from this time I think I will have a better relationship with Roma.